Welcome to Stampin' Peace with Mary Knabe. I'm always happy to have the opportunity to share some creativity and some fun projects with you through my Facebook Live. So thank you for being here. A couple of quick announcements. I have registration open for 2 classes right now. The first one is a class to go featuring the wonderful Sweet Conversations bundle. There are 3 options for that. The first option, you'll get the bundle, the stamp set and the dies. You'll get a pack of iridescent rhinestones, supplies to make 8 cards, to each of 4 different designs, and the PDF tutorial and shipping for $72. Option 2 is you will get everything I just said except that bundle. So if you already have the Sweet Conversations bundle, or you're a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator and you're going to purchase that bundle on your own demonstrator order, great. You still have the option to purchase option 2, which is all the card supplies, the pack of embellishments, the PDF tutorial, and the price of $32 does include shipping. And then the last option is to purchase just the PDF tutorial for $15. And registration for that class is open through January 11th. So that's Tuesday, January 11th. So the deadline is coming up. My next class, look at this. I'm not going to show you all these, but look at this. You're going to make 20 cards. And this is my Heart and Home Memories and More online class. It will be by Zoom on January 31st. With that, you're going to get a full pack of the Heart and Home Memories and More cards, and a full pack of the coordinating cards and envelopes. You're going to get a bolt of this pretty pale papaya open weave ribbon, and you're going to get a full pack of my favorite new embellishment, the brushed brass butterflies. And I've been working on this in conjunction with Wendy Meinhardt, who I have met through Facebook. She is a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Oregon, and she and her sister took one of my Memories and More classes, I guess last November. I can't remember, the gingerbread and peppermint class. And they really enjoyed it. And Wendy kind of took the inspiration and did a class of her own for some of her local customers. So I invited her to do this online class with me again. So she and I have been working together, designing the cards and that sort of thing. And we will make all 20 of those cards together online on Zoom, January 31st. The deadline to sign up for that is Friday, January 14th, a week from today, okay? The online classes are so much fun. So I hope you'll join us. The class will be no more than 2 hours. You will have 20 cards completed. And then you'll also see some alternate projects that she and I are doing with the leftover contents of the supplies you'll be getting from us as part of the class. So I'm ready to proceed with today's project. So I'm going to flip my camera around now, and I'm going to ask when I do that you share this live video and invite others to join in the creative fun with us. I don't think I said happy Friday. Happy Friday, everybody. I hope it's been a good week for you. It's been a good week for me, but going really fast. Highly productive, though. So in this Facebook Live, I'm going to be featuring another one of the Sale-A-Bration freebies. I'll be featuring the Daffodil Afternoon 12 by 12 Designer Series paper. You can see it right here. It's available with a $50 order, and some wonderful samples. And one thing I love about this very much is it coordinates beautifully with one of our new bundles in the mini catalog, the Daffodil Daydream bundle. So I'm going to be working mostly with the DSP, but I will be pulling in some elements from this stamp set as well. Let me first show you this wonderful designer series paper. So here's the first. I'm going to be making another version of a gift card holder, great for Mother's Day, for birthdays, congratulations, all kinds of things. So that's what we're going to be doing. But after I do that, I want to take some time to show you how I can cut this paper, because a lot of times people get this and they don't really know what to do with it. Yes, you can cut it in half and use them on your scrapbook pages, things like that. But I'm going to show you how to cut it so that you can make either slimline cards or standard size cards, 5.5 by 4.25. And that's the reverse side of it. And those colors are Pale Papaya and Flirty Flamingo. Here's a great one, floral background, and then a plaid. And the neutral on here is vanilla. We don't always see a lot of vanilla in our designer series papers. It's mostly white, but there is vanilla on this one. Isn't that pretty with the hearts? We'll be using that today. I love this. Screams spring, doesn't it? With Pale Papaya and the white dots on back. Here's an all over print of daffodils. This would be, this side you could use for masculine cards. So versatile. And you'll be seeing me use this one today as well. And before I start the wonderful gift card holder that we're going to make, I do want to point something out. In the back of your catalog, you will find an index of different things. They have an index of all the bundles, and then it gives you information about what it coordinates with and where you can find that on the other pages of the catalog. But if you want to look up a stamp set really quickly, so for example, Daffodil Daydream, which I'm going to be using, go back here to Catalog at a Glance. All of the stamp sets, the dies, papers, everything are here, and they are alphabetized, which is new. Before they were by page number, it was so hard to find things, but now they're alphabetized. So I, excuse me, so I can look here and see Daffodil Daydream stamp set is $23. It gives me the number, the item number for ordering, and it also tells me what page of the catalog it's on. And it's right there. Has all the details and also has some nice samples for us to see. So I just wanted to bring your attention to that in the back of that catalog. Now let's get to making one of these gift card holders. I have already pre-cut my pieces. Oh, you know what? I used white on that, but it could be vanilla. Should be vanilla, I should say. So what you're going to need as far as the designer series paper is a piece that measures 3 inches by 12 inches. And with these measurements, that means that you'll be able to make 4 of these gift card holders out of 1 sheet of designer series paper. I know a lot of times at graduation time and spring, there's weddings, all kinds of things. So people often are giving away gift cards as gifts. So this will be perfect. So, whoops, with that 12 by 3 inch piece of DSP, we're going to score it. Look at this. Score it at 4 inches from either side. I could open up the arm of my tool here and score it 4 inches and 8 inches, or you can just score at 4 inches from either side. It works out the same way. And both of these I'm going to fold in and crease very well. Now, you saw me do a gift card holder during the holiday season, which was a little bit different. So this is different than that one, just so you know. On the other one, we punched the center piece, but here you want to punch the front piece. And you can do this, let me use this one. You can do this with, and this kind of just gives you that notch to help pull out the gift card from the pocket. You can use circle punches. I'm using the double oval today. On my sample, I use the everyday label punch, but you just need a little part punched out like that. The next step is to adhere just the pocket. Now, I'm going to suggest that you use a very thin line of multi-purpose glue. Remember, multi-purpose glue goes a long, long way. And to make sure I don't get that glue on my tabletop, I'm going to use my silicone mat. That way, if any of the glue seeps out, it will go on the mat, and it's really easy, the silicone mat, and it's really easy to clean instead of my craft surface, which is definitely easy enough to clean, but oh, I'm creasing the wrong side. Did you catch that? This is where the adhesive is. Oh, it's Friday. All right, and then I'm going to close the whole thing up and just make sure my creases are really nice. So now I have a piece of basic black cardstock. This measures 5.5 by 4 1/4. So this is actually the very same size that any of our standard size cards would be, 5.5 by 4 1/4. And then I have a layer of Daffodil Delight, and it measures 5 1/4 by 4 inches. And as you can see on this sample, I pulled this speckle stamp from the Daffodil Daydream set and just speckled around the outer edge of the Daffodil Delight. I'm going to use a different stamp now to, and what happened to it, to decorate this a little bit. So let me show you what I'm going to do. I'm going to use my Daffodil Delight ink, and I need a piece of scrap paper. So let me put this down. So with my scrap paper underneath that, I'm going to ink this stamp up. This is that long decorative one. Here's something, in fact, before I do that, I'll even show you this. I love this type of design and stamp for doing envelopes. Just stamp a fun edge right there. Another place you could stamp this would be right along the back flap. So I really love these for decorating your envelopes. You know how we like it, no naked envelopes. Although the busier I get, the more I tend to send cards with naked envelopes. But you know, just the way it is. Now I can do a variety of things here. I can stamp so that I kind of frame this area. I can go cross diagonally. I can do it randomly, whatever you think will work best. I'm going to just kind of frame mine. Stamping just like I did on the left side of that envelope front. And then I think I'm going to go across the bottom and the top as well. Don't worry if it's not perfectly even. This is not the focal point of the card. It's just an extra little accent. Alrighty. Now I'll go back to my other pre-cut pieces. I'm ready to adhere this to the basic black. And then this, when it's completed and folded closed, measures, and this of course is where your gift card will go, but when it's closed, it measures 3 inches by 4 inches. So I'm going to mount this, oops, that's not right, is it? It's not the right width. Let me cut another one. So I need a piece of black that measures 3 1/4 inch by 4 1/4 to use as my mat. Well, that's better. Also, it's easiest to put this on when you're holding it closed instead of trying to hold it open and trying to see. Close it up and adhere it as if it's just one layer of something. So it's easier to see all the way around. And then I'm ready to adhere it right in the center of my other layers. Just like that. And I actually cut white, but let me cut a piece of vanilla instead, because then it will coordinate with the envelope. Either one, you know what? It really doesn't matter because there's mostly white on this. I'm going to use the white, which is what I think I did, because there's mostly white on the flowers here. The next, when I show you some of the other DSP, how to cut that, it has more vanilla in. So I'll just go ahead and do that. This is so I have something to write on, or I should say whoever wins this has a place to write their message. But this white measures 2 3/4 by 3 3/4. So what I did with the gift card portion measuring 3 by 4 when it's closed, I went up 1/4 inch on length and width for the black layer, and I went 1/4 inch down on the length and width for the basic white layer. And now I need to add a sentiment. Now in here, there are sentiments for Easter and Mother's Day, as you can see. I don't need as many of those, and I don't tend to give, first of all, my mother's passed on, but I don't tend to give gift cards for Easter or Mother's Day. Maybe when my daughters become mothers themselves, that'll be a time I can do that. But currently, I really don't give whole gift cards for Mother's Day or Easter. So instead, I'm using these for birthdays. And I chose this sentiment, which comes from the, let me take a look here. I remember what it's called. It's part of the Flowering Tulips bundle. No one deserves a happier birthday than you. So I think that's really nice. And I'm going to stamp this with the black Memento ink. I've cut my Pear Pizzazz cardstock 1 inch by 4 inches. You saw me punch both ends with that Banner's Pick-a-Punch, one of my favorite punches ever. And I'll just stamp right there in the middle. Just like that. I will adhere it to the front of my gift card holder with dimensionals. You can see I like to use that leftover edge on my dimensional sheets. I hope you all do that too. Get the most for your money. And then I will add the banner here. On this one, I used the classic matte dots, and I thought this would be a nice choice of embellishment because it has white, vanilla, gray, and black in there. So I have some different choices I could use right here. But on this gift card holder, I think I'm going to do a bow. And this matches pretty well, not perfectly, but pretty well. It is the Bumblebee gingham ribbon. We also have, what else could you use? Black baker's twine, white baker's twine, the white crinkled seam binding, white crinkled seam binding that you color with a Daffodil Delight Stampin' blend. You know, we can customize lots of our embellishments and ribbons by coloring them with our alcohol markers, the Stampin' blends. And then I'll just adhere this with one glue dot behind the knot of the bow. I'll put it right up here like that. So it looks pretty and it looks festive. And then it's ready to have a gift card put inside. Here's my sample. Now, one of you will win this. So I would like you to type in the comments, gift card holder. Okay, gift card holder, and I'll give this away. Here is another alternate of basically the same thing. The gift card holder part is the same. The sentiment is the same. I used a different color. I used the vanilla color from the classic matte dots as the embellishment. And I did some different layers in here with different size borders. I used Pear Pizzazz and then a narrow layer of the basic black. And I cut the daffodil so that it leaves a narrow border of the black cardstock. So just some nice fun ways, and also remember the backgrounds. You can leave your backgrounds plain, or you can do something more decorative like this one or this one. Now, I told you that I was going to show you how you can, let me get these out of the way. I told you I'd show you how to cut this particular piece of designer series paper so that you can use it to make cards. And the first thing you're going to do for each of these is cut down the center, that very vanilla center. So I'm cutting it 6 inches. So now I have two pieces that measure 12 inches by 6 inches. On this first one, I'm going to cut it in half again. So now I have two 6-inch squares. And then I'm going to cut each of those 6-inch squares into 3-inch by 6-inch pieces. Okay. So now I've got these, and I'm going to show you some Slimline cards I made with this. And let me just set this here. So with these 4 pieces, this is what I've done. I've made a Slimline card for each. I used a different piece of designer series paper. Let me pull that one out. It's this one. I used the back side with all the little old olive hearts on it. And I cut pieces that measure 3 inches by 2 inches. So that 3-inch by 2-inch piece works perfectly with my 3 by 6-inch piece. And then I've just added the layers. So there's one. Here I did the very same thing. I just interchanged the 2 layers. This I have Pear Pizzazz on, what is the green? Mossy Meadow. And on this one I have Mossy Meadow on top of the Pear Pizzazz. You know, I said Old Olive. I think these are Pear Pizzazz, actually, not Old Olive. Here's another one I did where I made the border just a little bit smaller. I cut it 3 1/8 by 8 1/8. And then I put it on a bumblebee. Now, bumblebee is not listed as one of the colors on the Daffodil Afternoon Designer Series paper pack. However, you can see that on some, the yellow on some of these prints tends to be a little darker shade of the daffodil, which pretty much matches up with that bumblebee color. So I did that. And then the last one is a little bit different. I took one of these and I actually cut this. Let me move this. I actually took one of the 3" by 6" pieces and I cut at, let me do this, 4 inches and 2 inches. So now I've got 3 pieces that all measure 2" by 3". Okay. And then I just adhered them to a piece of cardstock. And then I put a little bit of that heart pattern paper behind it. So super fun. And just a little bit different play on those strips of Designer Series paper. When I posted this video to my blog in the next day or so, all of the measurements for the gift card holder, plus these cards, plus the next set I'm going to show you, all of those cutting and scoring dimensions will be listed. All right. I know you like to have those. Now and again, you could cut both halves of your DSP like that into the 3" strips. And then if you did that, you have enough to make 8 Slimline cards. All right. Or you can cut each half this way. Cut it 4 inches. Got 4 inches again. Now you have 3 pieces that measure 4 by 6. And what I'm going to do, and you can cut off the top or the bottom, I'm going to suggest you cut off at the top where there's more blank space. But you want to cut 3/4 inches off that one end. So your large pieces then measure 5 1/4 by 4 inches. So now you have these, and these will make our standard size cards, 5 1/2 by 4 1/4. These are each cut to 5 1/4 by 4 inches. This measures 3/4 inch by 4. And you can see, you can do, as you can see in my samples I'm going to show you, you can do some different things with these little banners or strips. The first one, I cut each banner end, and of course I'm just using coordinating cardstock. This is Mossy Meadow, but this strip, I just cut little banner ends, and then I might add a small sentiment that maybe I'll punch out with the Everyday Label Punch or the Oval Punch, and I'll put it right there. Or maybe I'll, you know, I guess you could stamp right on the DSP, but this is a little bit busy. So you might make a smaller banner to lay on top with your sentiment. And of course, I have Very Vanilla inside. Now here's the difference. Let me show you. Here's the white on here. So for this particular piece of DSP, I think the Very Vanilla works better. So kind of try both the vanilla and the white when you're working with the different sheets in this pack. Now this one I layered on Pear Pizzazz, just something a little brighter. And I took this 3/4 inch strip and I cut off a 1/4 inch. So then I was left with a 1/4 inch strip and a 1/2 inch strip. I flipped the one over to show the vanilla side on the back, and then I overlapped the diagonal stripe on top of that strip. And again, I might do the same thing here. It doesn't necessarily need a sentiment. Maybe a little bow here would be cute. But if you want a sentiment, you can add it somewhere down here as well and make it work with that strip. On this one, I was trying to pull out some of the other colors in this paper. So I chose Flirty Flamingo. And again, I took that strip and I cut a 1/4 inch off. I then adhered that 1/4 inch strip with the diagonal stripe side up. On the inside, I used the remaining 1/2 inch strip to decorate the inside of my card. Okay, so as you can see, and again, now if you're going to cut the whole sheet, both halves, this way, you would make 6 cards of this size. If you'd cut the whole sheet the other way, you'd make 8 cards of the slimline design. All right, makes sense? But I just like to be sure that people know how to get the most of their DSP and to work with some of these that maybe are a little bit more unusual when they're not the same across the whole sheet. All right, who would like to win a gift card holder that we made today? If you are one of those people and you have not yet typed gift card holder in the comments, you need to do that now so that your name goes into the drawing for this. Okay, again, the Daffodil Afternoon DSP is a product you can earn free with a $50 order during celebration. And the Daffodil Daydream bundle coordinates with it nicely and can be found in our new mini catalog. Alrighty, do you have, oh, one thing I was going to mention, when I was looking through other new stamp sets for various sentiments, I came across this one in the On the Horizons bundle. And I thought, I just want to point this out, wishing you so much happiness. This could be for birthdays, anniversaries, weddings, graduation, congratulations, a new job. You know, the possibilities are endless. So when you're looking at your stamp sets, especially sentiments or also sentiments, consider different ways you can use them. I like that we get a lot of sentiments that are really quite versatile and don't lock us into, you know, one occasion or one reason or one theme. So I just wanted to point that out. Okay, I am going to say goodbye. I'm busy getting ready for my Creative Escape weekend. We're going to be stuffing envelopes and make and take kits, things like that, as the day goes on. So I've got lots to do. It's going to be quiet around my house now that Emily's back at school, and John and Andrea will also be gone this weekend. So they won't be popping in to see me since they're going to out of town to see a friend. So I think I'm just gonna plan to get lots of work done. And then I will be back on Monday at 11 a.m. So I look forward to seeing you then, and have a great weekend. Bye-bye.